just got off the plane, gonna start walking to Masset. This is the massive airport that I came from, probably the biggest airport I've ever seen. It was pissing rain pretty good when I got here, so I took my pack apart to grab my rain gear, and I put it on, and I come outside and it stopped raining. Usually how it goes. Well, I just got off the airport, got onto the main road. First car that goes by, I stick my thumb out. Dan here picks me up. Say hi, Dan.
That's how we do it. Hey guys, how you doing?
He's gonna drive me to Masset, gonna get some supplies, aka alcohol, and work my way down to Tooele at the beach.
It's a sick trail. I can actually tell you about that too.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, until next time. So Dan was nice enough to drop me off at this hitchhiking spot here. He drove me to Masset, so we got some supplies. I chatted with some locals here. I've been here about 3 minutes. Let's see how long it takes me to get picked up at the thumb here. All right, here I am. I'm in Tooele, BC, about midway up Graham Island on Haida Gwaii. Got dropped off by the one hitchhiker helper and stuck my thumb out. 2 cars later, I have another ride. They gave me a ride straight to the trailhead. So let the games begin. So I'm just about to start the trail onto East Beach, where they have the wreck of the Pursuta. It's a large logging barge that went and crashed aground on the winter of 1928. It's still there. There's the anchor from it. It's about 5 kilometers or so from here. Let's go find it. This right here is one of the reasons why I fell in love with this place. The moss is unbelievable. Look how far I can stick my hand into this stuff. It's beautiful, makes great bedding, and it just looks pretty. We're going to see a lot more of it. So I am crossing the Nykoon River. The river that the provincial park is named after takes up a large percentage of the Island All National Park, or provincial park rather. You can see just how dark the river is. That's from natural sediments. It's totally drinkable. Although I have a life straw, so that's not really a big issue, but good to know if I can drink it if the life straw doesn't work. So this is just past where I crossed on that bridge. You can see the water's very slow moving. According to the guys that I got rides from today, they both said there's lots of salmon in the water. There's lots of rivers like this along the way, so at least I know I won't be hungry if I run out of food. I want to get to the beach though, so I'm not going to take my rod out right yet. I'm ready for some flat ground. So this was what I was expecting to be the trailhead. Normally half of that river is sand. So we're either at some pretty high tide right now, or the river is just a lot higher this year. Thankfully, there's a trail that goes that way. Where it's going to spit me out, I'm not sure, but I definitely aren't going this way. If it gets hairy on that side, I'm going to have to just camp in the forest tonight and wait till it blows over. So I saw that the river was up and the tide is also very up. There's a trail over there. It looked like it was going to go to the promised land, so I figured I'd take it. Started going. It didn't really take me where I wanted to go, so I came back to the original spot. Set up camp. I'm just going to have to wait it out. Maybe I'll go do some fishing. So it looks like the tide has come down a fair bit. I don't know if it's gone down enough, but I'll know as soon as I get around this corner. This whole area down here, it's the outward end of the Nykoon River. Down here, it's a mix of grass and edible sea beans, otherwise known as sea asparagus. It is known to be salty, but also quite delicious. So the tide is definitely far down enough to continue. I'm going to try to get to the Pursuta tonight, make up camp there, wake up next to a shipwreck. Hopefully it all goes to plan. So this is a pretty cool shot. There's, it's hard for you to tell, way in the distance over there, that is the shipwreck they call the Pursuta. It's probably going to be still in the water by the time I get there. but I think that's my destination for the day. Next stop, Pasuta. Make some camp, eat some food. So we're just about at the Pasuta. Ran into these fine gents.
Hey there.
What are your guys' names?
I'm Sean,
I'm Ronan.
and having a hell of a good time on Haida Gwaii.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Probably gonna be the last people I see in a while. Now this is a thing of beauty. I'll be coming along them, you know, every now and then. This is where I get to fill up my bottles. Notice the very brown color. That's from all the minerals. Totally drinkable. It's time for a rest. My legs are getting tired. Look at that. It's the old Pasuta. Excuse the shaky camera. Walking on rocks and stuff with a 50-pound pack. This ship was wrecked in 1928 when it was being pulled out by a giant storm when it had a full load of cargo. They called for a distress call. A tug was sent out to rescue them. The force of the storm was so strong, the tug was getting swept out as well. So at some point they had to make the decision, cut the rope, let the old girl go. Now I'm gonna get some really nice shots of this. When it's all said and done, I'm gonna put them on my Instagram. If you want to follow me, I'm Curry Power, one word. Look at this. Even the video doesn't do it justice. It's just huge. Just a beast. You can even go inside it, kind of. Go in here, there's a whole cavity in here. It's kind of like Bizarro World because it's all sideways and upside down. But, you know, if there wasn't a tide to worry about, a dude could stay at night in here, no problem. Now, I don't condone smoking, but anyone else ever smoked a cigarette in a shipwreck before? Not bad. It's good too, because the wind, the wind is getting stronger, but the rain is cleared up. The sky's getting lighter, even though it's getting dark, even though it's getting later out. I think I've got another couple hours of sunshine, so I better make some trails, but having a cigarette in a shipwreck. Straight from Haida Gwaii. So now that I've left the Pasuta, happy trails, Pasuta, don't go anywhere. Now on to the next leg. This is going to be my view for quite a while. So just to put all of this into perspective, this beach looks very vast right now. Right? Look how far down that goes. We're about half tide right now, so it's going to go out about another double that. So I know there's a stretch of this island, or of this coastline, that you can't really walk unless it's at low tide, because the water goes right up beside the land. By the look of these cliffs here, I have a feeling that's this spot. I was gonna take a break, maybe set up my camp, but if now's my time, I might just hoof it for a while and try to get past this while I can, if this is in fact that place. We'll see. Thankfully I got here when I did, because this is one of those rivers that comes out and the only way to cross it is at low tide. So I guess I got lucky. Still, I don't know how much I want to walk through that with my boots on. Let's see how it's like down here. Now, while it's definitely low enough to cross, there's no way my feet are staying dry if I'm going through there. I'm gonna have to take my boots off for the first time. See how this feels. So, it's starting to get dark now. I don't know how much more video I'm gonna be able to take. Apparently this thing's really good in low light because it's a lot brighter on the camera than it is here. But just take a look. The camera doesn't do it any justice. If I were to estimate, that cliff is about 7 stories high. Runs all the way down. I'm glad I have low tide right now because the tide line is the base of that. So the clock is ticking. Oh, that's the end of that cliff. I see a sloping embankment up ahead. I am pretty exhausted. I think I'm gonna call that home for tonight. Have myself a campfire. How's this for timing? Yes. Look at this. Shelter. Camping shelter. Let's go take a look. Look at that. It's awfully quaint. A few little buoys. There's some firewood in here, oh man. It's pretty. Now, there's my pack all loaded up. As you can see, I'm carrying a lot of crap. So look what I found. Someone left us a nice little cabin. Got a wood stove so I can make myself a fire. They're even nice enough to lend a blanket. They got some wood. They got some nice flat stuff to make a bed out of, which is awesome. A kettle so I can boil some water. A chair to sit on that's kind of broken. A nice big pot. And another, well, 2 big pots. Sitting stump. Fire pit. This is awesome. I'm glad I kept going. Let's just hope it's not too spooky in here. Awesome. Now that is a thing of beauty. You know, I was starting to feel the rain pick up a little bit. It's getting windy. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to fire. In fact, I was pretty confident I wasn't going to have a fire. I saw this log structure with a big straight piece of bull kelp standing out of the top of it like a flag. So I turned around and I thought that that had to mean something. So I turned my head to the left and I just see the corner of a yellow sign on the wall or on the tree there. And I knew what that was. And my night was made. Because this is beauty. I got food in my stomach. I got a fire. I got shelter from the wind. This is going to be a good night. Good start day to this trip. And I think it's only going to get better from here. So I'm laying in here. Loving it. It's so peaceful when you can get out of the wind like that. Got my little fire going. Got my little sleep pad down, and I am loving this. So comfortable to be able to rest your body after a long day like that. But it's only just the beginning. Tomorrow's going to be longer, and more adventures await. Well, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning at this point. Having a hell of a time trying to fall asleep. It is starting to get windier. Comfort's not a question. Comfortable. It's getting pretty eerie out here, though. Not gonna lie. I think that's kind of causing me issues, because if you know my history, I fall asleep pretty easily. This is a different case. I just had to get up and make a little entry here because there's a mouse running around in here or something. Oh, look, there he is. I see him. There's a mouse running around in here, and keeps running across my feet. And like at first I couldn't really understand what was going on. I was like, what the heck is this? I kicked my feet and stuff. And then I was laying there, actually in a good, comfortable spot, thinking I was going to be able to fall asleep. And then the thing runs across my back, and I pretty much jumped out of my skin. So that was a thing. Anyway, I'm going to try to put my head down and try to at least get some more rest. Well, that was my home for the night. It did its job. First half of the night was pretty rough for sleeping. Had to deal with a mouse running all over me, making me jump out of my skin a couple times. Just trying to get into the nuts that were in my bag. So once I got those up off the ground, you didn't really have anything to get. Kept my headlamp going all night. It's good for about 100 hours or so, so that kept the mouse at bay. I was able to actually get a few hours of sleep. So that's good. It's a nice morning. It's a little overcast, but should be a good day. I'm gonna hit the trail pretty quick. Alright guys, if there's anyone that wants to come and do this trip, I have a tip for you that will be very helpful. There's the cliff I was walking by last night. At the very end of it, it just turns into that nice rolling hill. If you look to your immediate left by that tree that's standing up, it's all by itself. It's a giant tree. It's got a yellow sign on it. You can also look for that right there. That thing standing up. It'll be to your left. That's where you need to go if you want your shelter. Well, I've got another river. Gonna have to take my boots off again. This one's a little bigger than the last time. Let the games begin again. I'm noticing this is a little bit more difficult than I thought with the 50-pound bag and just the uneven ground. It'll be a challenge. I just got to keep going. So I got across the river. This one's moving a lot faster than the other one was, I'll tell you that. Now, because it's all rocky sand underneath, it's a lot deeper than it actually looks, and the current is moving pretty good. Wouldn't necessarily be that big of a thing, but when you got a 50-pound pack on your back and you don't want to get it all wet, you have to be a little more careful. There's lots of rocks and everything to step on, so you really just got to take it slow. And walk diagonally upward into the current. That's really your best bet. Just a tip if you're going to do this. Well, I just broke one of my USB cords. And it's the longer one, so that's kind of a shame. I've still got a short one, but I just got to be a lot more careful with it if I want to keep filming. This is harder than I thought. So off in the distance, I know you guys can't see it, but I can see it. I'm 99% sure straight ahead is a place called Toe Hill. I'll show you more when we get there, but I think the end's in sight. This thing is supposed to take 6 days. If I keep going at this pace, I don't think it's going to take me that long, although it is pretty far in the distance. Now this is a welcome sight. It'll give me an opportunity to drink as much water as it can get in me and refill all my bottles. Good thing I've got that life straw because it looks pretty brown. Well, they said it was supposed to rain today. Clearly, it's not raining. It's a beautiful day. That just shows how unpredictable the weather really can be here. It's a nice surprise though. Now here's something to look at. I haven't actually seen them myself, but we've got cow tracks, hoof tracks going all the way that way. Take a look. It's clearly a hoof. But the thing is, the deer here are really, really tiny. Put that into perspective, you could take 15 of them in a year if you're a hunter. Now the reason why I bring up the cows is because 100 years ago or so, when people were trying to settle the land, they abandoned their farm because they couldn't make it happen. So they abandoned their cows. So now we have feral cows running around through here. Maybe I'll see one. We've got some local art. First sign of civilization I've seen in quite a while. At first they were marking a cabin or something. I got myself excited. At least it's a cool little thing here. Got some beautiful beach going. Taking advantage of the low tide. It was starting to go down when I got out. I'm pretty sure it's about as low as it's gonna go. So I gotta take advantage of that time. Well, I gotta give my friend Matt a shout out. He suggested something that I had forgotten to bring or even plan. That was medical tape. Very important. Had an incident back there where the back of my boot was rubbing against my foot. I started realizing this was going to be a problem if I just kept letting it going. So you give your foot a good wrap in medical tape, put your sock back on, and you're good as new. So, my feet were starting to get a little on the sore side. Even if you have good insoles and boots, you know, walking on the wrong terrain can make your feet pretty sore. So, taking off my shoes and walking in this surf feels like absolute heaven. I'm gonna walk to the end of the point there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I think that's where I'm gonna call home for the rest of the day. I'm getting pretty tired. This part of the beach is super cool. It looks like rock, but it's not. It's actually clay. So there's all these little holes with little mussels and stuff sticking their heads out. It's really nice to walk on too. I'm glad because I didn't want to put my boots back on. So I'm taking a little break here. Got to go to the edge of that cliff area. I think it's going to be another hour and a half probably. So I'm taking it a little break because my feet are tired. They're in this crazy orange river and it is absolutely heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. Almost makes me want to have a cigarette, it's that good. I am so bloody exhausted. Almost there. Started walking around 8 o'clock, it's almost 1:30 now. Figure probably done about 25K with my almost 60-pound pack. Needless to say, I'm ready to sit down and do nothing but that. So I thought I found my landmark just behind me. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And if from what I see is true, I got a while to go. This stretch has been pretty rough, pretty barren. Enough water. That's not anything to worry about, but doing this by yourself with a big bag is kind of rough sometimes. Break time. So there's one thing that separates this place from anywhere else as well. The size of the barnacles. Now, just for size comparison, here's my thumbnail. I could shove it right inside that barnacle. And they're pretty wide too. So, you know, it's a pretty good sized barnacle. I decided to stop here at a place called the East Beach Lumber Pile. You can figure why it might have got its name. I figured I'd lay down and have a nap. So I made myself a little lean-to. Depending on how that nap goes, I'll continue on tonight. Or if it goes well, then I might just stay here. Getting attacked by wasps. Don't mind the camera work. So my trail run for my lean-to, I took a nap. It was actually a really good nap. I really needed that. I slept great for 2 hours. Got up, I didn't really feel about going for a longer walk because the tide's coming up more. And in my sleep it's clouded over, so I was concerned we might get a little bit more rain, so I protected it from the wind and the rain. Although it would protect most of that anyway, but just to be sure, covered the thing up. It'll be a good sleep. Now it's time to make a fire. Just relaxing on the beach now. Having myself a little fire because we don't have a fire ban. That peninsula off in the distance, I started well on the other side of that today. That's why I decided to quit early. Well, it's starting to rain harder now. Kind of lonely right now, to be perfectly honest. Probably just gonna cozy up in my fancy lean-to, be completely dry and read a book until I pass out. Another big day ahead of me tomorrow. Well, my lean-to did the job. That was a much better sleep than sleeping in that creepy cabin, I'll tell you that. Pretty sure I got close to a good solid 8 hours. So that's good. I'm gonna get it all packed up. Save for my stuff being a little sandy, and say that was a really good success. Gonna pack up and mosey on out of here and see how far I can get today. So I've taken my tarp off my little lean-to thing here. I decided I'm gonna keep it. Common practice here along these beaches, if you see a buoy hanging off something, it usually means there's a shelter. Well, a couple hundred feet away from me, I found a buoy yesterday. So I figured I'd grab it, hang it off my shelter for future use if a hiker wants to come by and they want to take a rest. Onward. So I have spotted those rare and legendary hippie cows that have gone feral. I'm going to try and sneak up on them and get a couple shots, maybe a video. Well, that's too bad. As soon as I got close, they noticed me and they took off. I did manage to get a picture from a far distance, so when I get home I'm going to try to zoom that in and crop it. Make it so I can actually prove that I saw them because they were there. There were 3 of them. Wish I could have got closer. Okay, I see them again. I'm going to zoom in. It's going to be a really crappy zoom, but as you can see, that is a cow, not a deer. They're just, you know, grazing around the bog plants, it seems. There you go, proof. Feral farm cows walking in the wild of Haida Gwaii, Nai Provincial Park. So I've never seen anything like this before. I'm still in the cliffy area, but rather than sand, these cliffs are made of clay. It's pretty wild. Good thing is too, there's water coming off of it everywhere, so I really don't have any shortage. That's good. So it's been about just under 48 hours since I saw anybody. Save for when I woke up in the morning, there was a helicopter flying over the beach, but I don't think that counts. If that's the case, when I get a little closer, I'm gonna have to put my pants back on. It gets kind of hot when you're slogging away with a heavy bag. Seeing as you're by yourself, not gonna see anybody, why not cool off? So I came up to the top of this hill here because I saw this fishing float. It's actually looks like it's Chinese or Japanese or something. If you look, it's got some weird symbols on it, Asian of some kind. Anyway, thinking I might have saw some people, I was wrong. It's just weird rocks and driftwood and stuff, so the search continues. So now I've come across this river. It's probably the biggest one I've had to fjord yet. Hopefully it gets wider towards the coast. Last thing I want to do is fall and get my pack wet. Fun, fun, fun. Done. Fjorded the whole thing. That was a lot of fun. The cold water feels really good on tired feet. Fortunately, it's not all sand, it's pretty rocky. So you get the odd surprise. Some of the current was pretty strong, some of it was not so bad. But that was a lot of fun. So once I got across that river, I'm seeing a familiar sight. The trees stop, the sand continues. Those are the characteristics of what I'm looking for. Pretty much the destination of this hike. I've been wrong before though, with landmarks and things here already. But hopefully I'm right this time because it's really starting to look like I'm almost there. So after crossing that river, which was a lot of fun by the way, I realized about how I thought I saw people, and then I didn't see them anymore. What happened was they turned a corner, because after I started back after crossing the river, I saw two sets of footprints, one barefoot, one wearing some sort of sandal or something. I wish I had sandals right now, my feet are getting a little sore. But the bigger question remains, do I put my pants on before I go and get to where they are? Or do I just hope that they understand? Let's roll the dice. So after crossing that river, which was a lot of fun by the way, I realized about how I thought I saw people, and then I didn't see them anymore. What happened was they turned a corner, because after I started back after crossing the river, I saw two sets of footprints, one barefoot, one wearing some sort of sandal or something. I wish I had sandals right now, my feet are getting a little sore. But the bigger question remains, do I put my pants on before I go and get to where they are? Or do I just hope that they understand? Let's roll the dice. I'm really starting to think we're reaching the destination. The reason why I think that is because I haven't had a headwind the entire walk. The wind's been at my back the whole time. Now the destination is a place called Rose Spit, where the north and the east beaches meet. The north beach is extremely windy, and that's what I'm starting to feel. Haven't had to walk into the wind yet until now, so that's why I'm starting to think that's going to be the target. So this is pretty cool. Got some purple and red and orange colored clay. Definitely never seen anything like that before. Pretty cool. So, what seems to be becoming the norm, I have again been defeated by wishful thinking. I am not where I thought I was going to be when I got this far. More land showed up in the horizon. And there's another river to cross. The last thing I want to do is take my boots and socks off and wade through and have to redo my medical tape and all that. I'm going to try to find a natural bridge to cross with all this driftwood. First I'm going to have a smoke. So I've been able to use some logs to hop across, but after hiking about 8 hours or so, getting pretty tired. This is the area I'm dealing with right now. It's pretty wild. There's a log right there that I can use to cross, so I'm going to be doing that. But just look how much lumber is here. It's just insane. So I saw this trail. I went an extra hour and a half trying to get to where I wanted to go, and it's just endless. It keeps going. So I found this trail. I'm like, heck yeah, cool. Maybe there's a little cabin or shelter or something. Turns out there is. I see it. I'm like, yes! It's like looking like a sweet cabin. And then you see the private property signs. And you're like, I guess I'm setting up just outside here. Well, I'm all set up here. Definitely not moving anymore for the rest of the night. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been this exhausted in my life. Probably would be easier if I didn't have that stupid Despacio song in my head, like, for the last 2 days. That'll go away probably once I run into somebody. Can't say I've been alone this long without talking or having any interaction with any other people before. It's different. Kind of getting used to it. I thought that was going to be a big challenge. I wouldn't say that's a big challenge, but it's different. Hopefully we'll meet someone tomorrow. Hopefully we hit the spit by tomorrow. Maybe that's just more wishful thinking. Who knows? We'll find out. Time to drink some delicious water. Yep, that's water. I'm going to drink that. The way you do that is with this. It's called a life straw. It takes out all the bacteria and filth and crap out of a water source. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could even drink out of the toilet with it. I'll show you how it works. You pop the top off. Pop the other end off. You stick it in said sludge. And you drink. It's day 4. My feet are getting pretty tired. Hopefully, the end is in sight. I'm going to be making less videos because I have only so much battery power and my solar panel's not going to pick up too much energy when it's overcast like this, so probably not going to take as much until we get some sunshine. Sweet, merciful Jesus. Is that ever a sight for sore eyes? I heard this place is really nice. I haven't even put in a full day yet and I'm pretty exhausted. I'm taking the rest of the day off. And I might even enjoy some tequila early. I was saving a bottle for Rose Spit, but if I'm going to be taking a day to relax, maybe I should relax properly. So after walking the beach and being isolated for so long, you guys got to see this. Special message for Greg. This is where we're going this winter. Check this out. It's got bunks, complete with sleeping bags. People have decorated it with agates taken from the beach. They're nice enough to leave a map, which was amazing. 5 Point. That's where I am. That's where I want to be. I've been making some damn good time. All this information I need. People have been leaving little things. Got a wood stove in here, complete with dry firewood, which is amazing. A big foamy fire extinguisher. This place rules. I'm excited. I'm definitely spending the day here. So to put it into perspective, I started right here. This is supposed to be a approximately 6-day hike. This is my 4th day, but I started in Friday evening. I've made it to here. So I'm making some killer time, which would explain why I'm so bloody exhausted. But man, has this ever lifted my spirits. This is just amazing. Well, my body is beat. I am sore. I've got a little more sun than I would have liked. More than I expected, that's for sure. I'm definitely going to take this day to rest. See if I can get any solar energy out of the cloudy skies so I can charge my phone. That way I can continue to document the rest of this beach hike. It's really good to know that I'll be able to finish the rest and be back in civilization by tomorrow. So I can see some people, maybe hit a pub and get some beers, and a nice hot plate of food. That'd be good. So there's a really good chance my battery's not going to last to get all the shots and video that I want to do of Rose Spit and Toe Hill. Thankfully, I've got a lot of time left because I made some headway here. I've got a nice chunk of time still in Haida Gwaii. So, on the off chance that I'm not going to be able to get that video, I'm going to head back into Masset, charge all my stuff, and then come back to Toe Hill. I'm willing to redo the hike just so I can get the shots and the footage that I want. Thankfully for Mass, it's a day trip and not a few day trip. So North Beach is a beautiful hike, and I'd be willing to do that anytime. It's beautiful sand, so I can take my boots off because my feet are killing me. So if worst comes to worst, I'll have to come back and make that footage, but we'll get it. So I finally came across some people. They came across our cabin here, and it's really nice to see some souls along this beach. So they've been all really friendly. Can I get some names?
Mish, hi. Todd, hello.
Lucas, hi.
Yeah, it's really nice to see some people, and it makes you feel a little less alone. I gotta save my battery here because I'm running out, but thanks guys for showing up. That's been really brightening my day.
Right on.
So it was a really wonderful surprise to have those guys come by. They gave me a sandwich. It was a really good sandwich. Probably not the most top-notch sandwich I ever had, but the sandwich I've appreciated more than any other sandwich I've ever eaten in my life. It was just magical. So good. So we're at this awesome cabin here, and I've come across some friends that have hit the end of this trail, and they're about to share the cabin with me. Do you guys want to share what your names are and where you're from?
Well, my name is Etienne. We live in the Yukon right now. We've been there 4 years, and we came to Haida Gwaii just to see what it was all about.
And are you guys liking it?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Other than rain every day for the last 2 weeks, but
So it's nice to see some sunshine right now, eh?
Yes,
Very nice.
very nice.
Awesome, awesome. Well, to good times.
who are you?
Me? Oh, my name is Miyuki, also from Yukon, outside of Whitehorse, and so far we got a lot of rain, but the trip was really good. We enjoying.
That's excellent. I'm loving it too. Thanks for your guys' input. This is going to be great.
Good.
Crazy.
Day 5. Yesterday was beautiful. Met some really nice people. Had a great sleep in that cabin. Definitely the best sleep I've had so far. Got some food in me, got some water in me. It's good to know I am close to the Rose Spit after seeing that map. Gonna hammer out the rest of the hike in one day. Get back to Masset, get a nice hot meal in me. Contact my sister so she doesn't have an aneurysm, because I'm sure she's worried right now. And next stop, Rose Spit. It is absolutely beautiful out here. Spirits are high, knowing that I'm going to be hitting the spit pretty quick here. Just wanted to mention, off in the distance, I know it doesn't pick up on the camera, but I could fully see the Alaskan mountains. It's pretty wild right now. We've got a bunch of fishing boats out there. Must be a prime fishing spot. But if you just look how beautiful this is today. It's just amazing. So I found this little cool shelter here. Getting kind of gassed. It's time for a break. So I might as well hang out in here. Eat some food and drink some water. Lighten my pack a little bit. Right there is the end of the trees. From then on out, it's just driftwood and grass. Just about at the point. That's the end right there. Well, would you look at that? I have made it to Rose Spit. That there is North Beach. You can see Toe Hill way off in the distance. And there's East Beach. I'm gonna hike it to the sandy part of the spit, have a little break, have a snack, maybe have some of my precious tequila. Wow, This is really something you gotta see. Unbelievable. Can't help but feel pretty proud of myself right now. Made the trip ahead of schedule, all by myself. It's a challenge, and glad I did it. Very glad I did it. So I'm just walking down the spit now. Want to get to the point. Well, I'm not going to go all the way because the tide comes in really fast, and my feet aren't in any shape to be running, so I'm not going to go all the way. Each step is kind of taking a toll, but it's worth it. So this is really odd. As you can see, you know, it's pretty nice out, right? I'm getting rained on. I swear I'm not high or anything, but I'm getting raindrops hitting me, and there's really no rain clouds anywhere. Weird. I'm right at the tip of Rose Spit here, and I ran into some dirt bikers. They're doing it the right way. They're doing it the right way. So you guys are all from Terrace?
Yeah.
Right on. Can we get some names?
My name's Jeremy.
Michaela.
Dawson. Dawn. Kendra. Lydia.
So they've been ripping down the beach on their dirt bikes. It seems like the way to do it. If I had another chance to do East Beach, I'd probably do it that way. So here I am. So I'm right at the very tip of Rose Spit. This is pretty wild. Seeing where the North Pacific, Arctic kind of ocean meets up, or Alaskan kind of ocean meets up with the BC coastal ocean. Pretty wild. The tide's starting to come in though, and it's coming in quick, so I gotta go. My feet aren't in the best condition, so I gotta start getting back to where my pack is. This place is so cool. That rock in the distance on the right, that's Toe Hill. That is my final destination. I foresee about 2.5, possibly upwards of 3 hours of travel to get there. Then I'm all done, baby. Then we're gonna go get a good meal. So up ahead where Toe Hill is, that is the end of my hike. I'm expecting another 1.5 hours or so to get there. But boy, is it going to be nice to relax and enjoy the rest of this vacation being very, very lazy. I did it. Total hike complete. Oh wow, am I tired. I can take a lot of satisfaction in being able to meet my goal there, so that was good. A day early with a break day in between, I'd say that's not bad. It's time to go sleep for 15 hours. First I need to get to a pub. It's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit me up with any comments you may have or any questions, and I'll do everything I can to get back to you. Follow me on Instagram at Currie Power, CurriePower, all one word. That's for my Instagram. Thanks guys, thanks for watching.